I refused full custody of my daughter after my husband asked for a divorce. My ex-husband Jake had this perfect plan mapped out. He'd work his fancy job while I stayed home with Mia since she was born. 7 years later, I barely remembered who I was before diapers and goldfish crackers. When Jake came home that Tuesday night, he didn't even sit down, just stood by the kitchen counter still in his work clothes and said he wanted a divorce. No warning, no fight beforehand, nothing. He said he'd been thinking about it for months. I felt like someone punched me in the stomach, but then he kept talking. He said since I didn't have a job or income, he figured I'd want him to take Mia most of the time. You know, so she could have stability. He even had this whole speech ready about how I could see her every other weekend and Wednesday nights. That's when it clicked. He planned this whole thing. While I was home making lunches and helping with homework, he was probably talking to lawyers, making sure everything worked out perfect for him. I asked him if he met someone else. He got all defensive and said it wasn't about that, but he wouldn't look at me when he said it, just kept staring at his phone. The next few weeks were hell. Jake moved into his brother's spare room, but still came by every morning to help Mia get ready for school, acting like nothing changed. Meanwhile, I'm Googling divorce lawyers at 2 a.m. and crying in the Target parking lot. My mom kept calling saying I needed to fight for custody, that any good mother would. But here's what nobody understood. I was exhausted, not just tired, completely burnt out. 7 years of being the only parent who knew where the Band-Aid drawer was or what Mia's teacher's name was. Jake never once took her to a doctor's appointment, never knew her friends' names, never did bedtime without me. But suddenly he wanted to be dad of the year? So when our lawyers met, Jake looked shocked when I said I agreed to his custody plan. His lawyer even asked if I was sure, like they expected me to fight tooth and nail. I told them I wanted every other weekend and Wednesdays, plus 2 weeks in the summer and alternating holidays. Jake's face went white. I think he realized he'd have to actually parent full-time now. The first week he had Mia, she called me crying because he gave her cereal for dinner and she missed story time. By week 3, he was texting me asking where I kept her inhaler. Week 4, he called at midnight because Mia had a fever and he didn't know what to do. Turns out being the fun weekend dad is different from handling meltdowns at 6 a.m. on a school day, or finding out your kid needs new shoes at 8 p.m. when stores are closed, or dealing with lice outbreaks and permission slips and parent-teacher conferences. My sister stopped talking to me for 2 months, said I abandoned my daughter. My coworkers at my new job whisper when they think I can't hear. Even the grocery store cashier gave me a look when I mentioned my daughter lives with her dad. But here's what nobody sees. Those Wednesday dinners where Mia actually talks to me instead of staring at her tablet. Weekend trips where we do whatever she wants without Jake checking his work email every 5 minutes. How she hugs me extra tight when I drop her off because she knows I chose to be there. Jake remarried 8 months later. Some woman from his office named Christine, who clearly had no idea what she signed up for. Mia told me Christine cried during the first sleepover attempt because Mia wet the bed and wouldn't stop asking for me. My daughter's grades actually improved. She joined soccer and made new friends. Turns out having 2 houses isn't the end of the world when both parents actually want to be there. Last month, Jake called asking if we could switch to 50-50 custody. Said it would be better for Mia to see both parents equally. I almost laughed. This was his big plan to dump most of the parenting on me while keeping the good dad image. I told him no. If he wanted more time, he could ask Mia. She's 8 now and smart enough to know what she wants.